bars on Rubik's Cube. Every time I do it, I just have to do it beautiful. I can't let this moment pass. Yeah, I know my time is now. Know my mama proud of me, and my grandma smiling down. Every time I turn it up, whole crowd be wildin' out. Matter of fact, let me see your hands. Look, I saw my shot and I took it. I couldn't do it different. Couldn't afford to stop and go. I had to stay consistent. Made up my mind that no matter what, I gotta win. That's why it's always me and never them. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot.
Heart of a lion, my time, here I go. I am not moving in silence. If it ain't moving, move it. We making movies, moving, moving, moving. I get a chance and take it. We bout to build it. They leaving it vacant. I just go harder, harder. I am a ball that I gotta get it. I am so with it. I will go get it. That is the difference. I am not waiting. I am not faking. Everything out here, that's for the taking. My mind too right. My grind too tight. This head rhyme too nice. This my world, my life. One shot, who me? Take that, ooh wee. One shot, movie. That's all you need. One shot, who me? Take that, ooh wee. One shot, movie. That's all you need.
One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot. You only get one shot. You only get one shot.
Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Round of applause and you go, that's it. Damn, that's a bomb with a flick on my wrist. Jersey on my chest, that's a team that I rep. Came in as a rookie, now I'm ballin' like a vet. If you talking crazy, better say it with your chest. Hit him with the right, then I hit him with the left. Ooh, ooh, then the juke move. High swing, stiff arm, lights out, you snooze. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. This is not a game, this is not a game. Banging on your chest when I come through the pain. Never been about the money or the fame. But when it bring both, so here we go again. Wins on the road, yeah, I got those. Couple records that I hold, yeah, I got those. It's the playoffs, the team just got home. We ain't going outside when it matter most. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic.
You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. top of you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose, make a choice. I need 100 pack for my boys. Be hating and talking and hating. I bet you I kill the noise. I've been a man like I'm Peyton. I boost up my rating. You know how I play with toys. Pop out on any occasion, get standing ovations. They can't help it but rejoice. They all wanna follow me, cause I got my foot on the opposition neck and ain't no apologies. 100 yards, you know I own all the property. Daddy's home, you know I own all the property. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25.
Let's go now. Go, League, go.
They'll start on the ground here with Nwangu. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. The Vikings at 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first 2 games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They felt they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room, but they do have to start winning some games.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll go right back to Nwangu. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Seven Pirates.
Back to throw here. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
On first down, they'll run with Nwangu. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Back to Nwangu again on first down. And it's out. He put it on the carpet, and the Packers pick it up.
let's face it, everybody at the start of the game has a mental image of how they expect it to go, and I think that was going exactly as they scripted it offensively. Moving the ball well, seemingly in control, and that fumble, that's got to be a little bit deflating, don't you think?
Yeah, foiled the whole plan there, turned the ball over. Loving the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. No gain on the play, it'll be 2nd down.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Hey, check nigga.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Jordan Love ready on 1st down here. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. A nice gain there to his trusty tight end, and now it's got them thinking opening drive touchdown here as they get into the red zone.
And in most cases with your tight end, you feel like you've got a mismatch no matter who's covering him. Is it a small cornerback? Is it a linebacker who may not run as well? In any event, whatever you see, you think that tight end can win that battle.
They'll try and run for it. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Vikings pick up the football.
Tell me I didn't just see these first 2 possessions. I mean, is this one of those cases of anything you can do, I can do?
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. 2nd down and goal. Love. And it's a Packers touchdown. Christian Watson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers.
Next the score, Packers 7, Vikings nothing. Eddie Pinheiro set for kickoff.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
On second down, it's Russell. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. After 7-0 on EA Sports. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is caught. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a 1st down. And I don't know what the method is to know when to dial up a fake punt, when not to. Whatever the method there, it worked for him.
I think you actually did explain it. There is no method. It's just a feel, a sense, and a healthy dose of guts in order to call that play in that situation.
Element of surprise, I guess, right?
Yeah, element of surprise and just a strong belief that, hey, we're going to get it done.
Throw left side complete. That's Fowler. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do in that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. They'll look to throw again. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 26. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Unlock line! Unlock line!
Straight ahead, here's Nwangu. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense. Linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on third. Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
A 42-yard attempt.
York able to send this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
15-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit, what's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
Here we go.
2nd down and 8. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he will not get what he needed as he stopped short of the 1st down around the 22. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. On now is the Packers punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. That's pulled in at the 32. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants a drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards.
Right there, hurt.
They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
What part do they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
They got the fumble recovery. Now here's Love to pass. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings' 19-yard line. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he is going to have a Packers first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Facing a 2nd and 3, ball on the 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal as some good running there gets him down to about the 2-yard line, knocking on the door.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll try to run this one in. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Packers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Pinheiro's extra point up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11.
14. Vikings 3. Eddie Pinheiro set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Throwing left side, and Watson has it. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Working with a 2nd and 4. Play action this time with Love. He's got Watson. It's caught. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Packers 21, Vikings 3. Eddie Piñeiro set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go now.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. Rager catches it left side. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
At the 29-yard line.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. And they'll send the slot in motion left.
Head the street. Dixie Maverick. Ready?
2nd and 6. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Street.
'They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to. So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. A 44-yard punt. They're going to wind up losing yardage on the return, though. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? And he was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, 21.6 miles per hour. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 116 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Love's throw there complete to Myers. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Love now to pass on first down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. That goes for a gain of 31.
That's a well-thrown ball right there. This is where arm strength pays off because he's got to be able to get the ball both downfield and to the sideline. And that's one of the more difficult throws for a quarterback, and he put it right where it needed to be.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. They find some open field here. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carroll. Touchdown! A 15-yard touchdown ground. And the Packers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bullying his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Pinheiro set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Three. 79 Broncos.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He finds his man complete. That's Russell. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there, just like last play.
Now the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Meanwhile, here, a run on first down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Love. He's going to launch this deep for Watson, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up fourth. Now it's first.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
The throw over the middle taken in.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material.
Now Love. He finds his man complete. That's Carroll.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They will throw again here with Jordan Love.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Well, one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
They'll send a receiver in motion left.
19 tight. Check man. Check man.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Second and long. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. Taking it right down Broadway. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Three. Check contact. Check contact.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Then complete into the hands of Fowler. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
The motion man is Fowler.
Go check. Go check. Trap 50. Trap 50.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take over here up near the 40. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has.
Ready? Check. Hurt.
On second down now, Mayer, and he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On first down, Mayer.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line.
14 yards, good for a Packer first down. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd down, Mayer. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Go!
On 3rd down, Mayer. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
The kick by Pinheiro is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
60 Bobcats!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
They'll run on first down. Mayer, and he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it, and to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Pat the street!
On 3rd down, Mayer. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
On 3rd down, Mayer. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line.
60 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And then when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runner.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Vikings 3.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by York is up and good
As they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense